What is up, bandits? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at the Specna Arms Core Edge. Let me just say, this model in particular is called the SA-C07, but for any core gun this review is pretty much true because the only difference between the variables is the handguard. So aside from the replica, which I've already put here on the table so you can see it, you get your usual safety, your chronograph check, if you order from Gunfire, that is, your Specna stickers. This one actually comes with one single high cap mag, which, you know, you usually, like before we always got two mid caps. Now we got one high cap, which is, you know, slightly disappointing, but this is also like a lower price replica. This comes at around 180 bucks, and you see why that is. You also get a catalog and of course a downgrade spring. So by default it's 380 FPS. If you put this in, it's 310. But if you want to change it out, the mags in this gearbox, it has a reinforced gearbox, so you can stick a M140 spring inside and it will still work. Now let's talk about the gun. The gun is pretty much polymer. The stock is polymer, the buffer tube is polymer, the pistol grip is polymer, the body is actually polymer, which to me is like a bit of a, you know, it's not really my type of stuff to have a polymer body. I think that's kind of bad. I mean, it's not bad, like it's plastic, right? I really like when it's metal, but this plastic is actually reinforced and it does not feel like cheap plastic. It feels more like, you know, a magazine type of quality plastic. It's definitely not like cheap or anything like that. Then this handguard is actually aluminum completely, and you have your flip up iron sights. You can of course remove these, and you also get, with this one, you have this weird amplifier thing. I really wonder how this will look, but if you just unscrew this, you can put a normal suppressor on there. There's 40mm frets. So that's it. Now we're gonna do a little trigger test. So I'm gonna remove the magazine. And I first do semi. Okay, it's clear, and I'm pointing at a safe direction. So this is the trigger response. So you can see the trigger response is definitely great. The first time I shot this, I was very surprised and positively. Now let's go on to full auto. And again, that isn't that bad either. So yeah, like the trigger response is absolutely insane. I love it. So let's load it up and let's go do some accuracy tests. Note, when we're gonna be doing this target test, I will be using an 11.1 volt battery and 0.25 gram BBs. So what we're gonna be doing is two different accuracy tests. This is gonna be the first one, so I'm gonna go one shot on each one of these small ones, and I'm gonna do two shots on each one of these big ones. You can see that it's not that accurate as, for instance, the Specna Arms Edge 2.0 that we did review a few months ago, but it's still fairly accurate. But this test is like very, let's say, strict. So let's do the other one, which is a human target. So as for the second test, I'm gonna go 5 shots in here, 5 in here, 5 in here, and the rest of the magazine I'm just gonna mag dump into the center of the target to see how the groupings work. you can see that I was pretty much hitting more or less these and these. I shot a bit more up here because I realized I was holding my gun sidewards and it was curving the BB, so I kind of redid this. And here where I mag dumped about the rest of the BBs, you can see that all of these are in about a like 10 by 10 box, and I was aiming from about 10 meters away. So yeah, we can say this thing is pretty accurate. On an ending note, I would just like to say thank you to my friend. He was the one who actually bought this rifle and let me review it for the video. So this rifle is not mine, but I have a feeling that you will see it a lot more on this channel. And yeah, Specna Arms CORE. I am extremely impressed. This is great. This is a beast. The one thing that bothers me a bit is the polymer body, and the second one is actually the mags, how the mags feed, which the mags feed okay, but like when you put this in, you don't have a feeling, because like this is, I don't know how to describe this. Like for instance, in my Mark 18, where the body is metal, when you put this in, you hear a click. In here you also can hear a click, but that click is not that obvious. And I feel like every time I put this in, I feel like my magazine isn't feeding. The second thing is when I went full auto, the motor immediately turned hot. Like I felt it in my hand, how quickly it started to heat up. Again, this rifle, it does not have a MOSFET, right? But it's a core rifle, so it can take an 11.1 volt battery. And yeah, it's about 180 bucks if you're a starter looking for your first gun. I don't see a world where you could go wrong with this. So yeah, amazing rifle, another great Specna gun. All I can say. Would recommend, like, I would straight up give it like a 10 out of 10 if this thing had a MOSFET and a metal body. But now with that out, it's like a 7 out of 10. So yeah, definitely recommend it if you're just starting out. But if you're like a more advanced player, Edge 2.0 is maybe better. And the price difference is about 80 bucks. So I don't know, I like it a lot. Really great gun, but again, it's great, but it's not the best.